In this section, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cover the settings feature. Now, what we have completed thus far is we're dealing with what's known as the back office unseen functionality by the end user or your website visitors. So what we want to do then afterwards is we'll get into the aesthetics and then finally we will go ahead and we will create what visitors will see. So we'll hover above the settings tab and then we'll go to general. Now, when we talk about general, the site title is, and we'll just kind of go there really quickly so you could see what it looks like. So the site title is Internet Marketing, just another WordPress website, which is the default settings. Now it's time to make some decisions because this is certainly functional, but it goes more towards uh, the just really some of the search engine optimization that you will need. Now, if that's something you would like to do, you could just kind of take this out if you wanted to. So let's go ahead and we'll hit save changes here, and then we will refresh. We always open up two bars so we can see what our changes look like. And what you will notice is that there is kind of nothing here right now. There's another area that we will cover that is more, we believe anyway, from an aesthetic and a search engine optimization standpoint, that is more appropriate to put this information in. Site title is something you want, but you may not want it to show up on your banner. So with that said, we can go down and it's time to make, again, some decisions on your WordPress address URL and your site address. When we set up posts and pages, we may revisit this because we may want to put our blog content as a different URL, but we'll make that decision a little bit later. Again, this is kind of the email address here, but that is something that we want to assign to a free email address. If you remember what we said, simply just for scraping. Now, membership you have to answer the question, is this going to be a membership website? Now, when I talk about membership websites, and of course we do offer a membership website setup series. Uh, One thing that to consider with a basic website setup anyway is, okay, if you do have members, what is going to be the benefit of their membership? When we set up our user, we showed you that there is very limited ways to offer anyone that subscribes to your website anything. So you're going to have to make some decisions, and the decision is threefold. Again, if somebody does want to be a member of your website, what is it you're going to offer them for being a member? Two, uh, beginning your website, is this going to be a business website? Is it going to be a just point of contact website? How robust is your website? Three, is capturing membership data as opposed to somebody simply contacting you by email on one of the pages we're going to show you how to set up. Is that going to be enough until you develop more of a robust website? So for these purposes, we are not going to allow anyone to register now. The new user default role, it could be subscriber, administrator, so on. So we want to understand that. Again, we want to decide what our time zone is going to be, and you could do it by kind of like time zone, or you could, there's a way to obviously do that by country. It doesn't really matter where you are, but you can absolutely do that by country. Again, we said it in the earlier series, this is what we prefer from a date format perspective. Now, with that said, we also said the week will start on Sunday for us. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to save those changes. The next thing we want to deal with is writing. So with the writing settings, and we set this up in the earlier video tutorial, we just want to pass a few things for your consideration. there's a way to automatically convert emotion icons like smiles and this to graphics on display. There's a lot of different smiley faces you can make with keyboard options when people respond or when you're writing a blog post or what have you. So we don't want to necessarily, this is an advanced feature we'll get into in a later series, which is the XHTML setup. The next thing we want to, you're going to have to come back to this when we get into our SEO series, is when you don't assign a category for your post, what will that be? What will that keyword be? So we'll get into that. So standard, yeah, we just want to stay with a standard default post style. And we want to tell you this also from a writing settings perspective here, you really want to drive your format, not according to a WordPress default, which is here, but actually you want to take care of that here in your appearance section. So we'll get into that kind of later than this, the press this section, which is a really interesting feature, but we will go into that in an advanced series. Now, your mail servers, this is kind of, again, an advanced feature, but at the same time, you have to decide how your email, or whether it's pop email or forward email, whatever that is, you want to decide how that is going to be set up, which is more of an advanced feature. So we're going to go ahead and we will save those changes. Now, when you come back, we're going to get into the reading and discussion because these are ultra critical from an aesthetic standpoint, regardless of what you actually, what theme you actually choose. Stay with us.